Welcome back to Girls Rewatch, a podcast about girls,
TV, and girls on TV.
I'm Amelia Retaller.
And I'm Evan Lazarus.
Oh my God.
And we're back
for another week.
Back to back. I'm loving that remix album so much.
The way I listen to it with my noise canceling headphones in my bed, like kind of tired, and
it brings you back.
It was transcendental meditation. I was like, this is what people pay thousands of dollars to go in the desert and do.
You felt it through your whole body.
I literally did, and I was like, everything is romantic.
Well, the album got a 92% on Metacritic.
Oh my God! Thank God, Metacritic.
It means it's the second highest rated album of the year. And if no
Who's
one's number one, Brat regular.
No.
At 95 on Metacritic.
Oh my God! What am I doing dressing up as Olivia Rodrigo and Sabrina Carpenter for Halloween? I should be dressing up as Charlie XCX, Brat 1 and Brat 2. Instead of Thing 1, Thing 2, Brat 1, Brat 2.
Literally though.
Wait, how are you, Evan?
Good. I was trying to think about this right before the podcast, but we were both talking about how we can finish through our screen time on Instagram before 8 a.m. even strikes.
Okay, yeah. Does everybody else have it set so their phone like traps them after they spend 30 minutes on Instagram every day, but every day you say ignore limit for day?
Yeah, of course. I do 15 minutes and then after another 15 minutes I go ignore limit for the day.
I don't even bother with the 15. I'm like, I know myself.
There's an option for 1 minute, which is like, who's doing that?
I'm like, that is something so sinister. That would be crazy behavior.
Right, but that also opened up the larger conversation. It's like, how do we rank media and the level of like intellectual curiosity and quality? Because for me, I'm like, it's good books number one.
Into it.
Yeah, good books number one.
Good books number one.
And I actually would say this: good podcast is number two.
Now wait a second.
Good movie number three.
Do books have to be read or can they be heard?
Oh, okay. Reading book number one.
Reading paper
number one. Listening to a good book, number two.
Yes.
Listening to a good podcast, number three.
Yes.
Number four, good movie.
Now, are you talking about edutainment podcasts or
educational podcasts?
Can it be?
Sorry, when I say good, this is not a good podcast. I just want to clarify.
So if you're listening to this one, don't think it's high for a single second. All right.
I'm talking about like the Daily, but not the Daily because that's New York Times.
With Guy Fieri. That's
what?
Not the host.
No, girl. Not even close. Guy Fieri from Divers, Dives, and Dines.
Yeah. When he went to my hometown's donut shop.
That everything. Right. And then I think good TV shows sometimes actually even better than good movie.
Right.
But then I would say, actually, before I even get there, I think good book is even higher than good TV show for intellectual. I mean, bad book is better than good TV show.
Well, and that's where that's where two roads diverge into two cities.
Oh, really?
Quote. I clearly don't read books, but I think watching prestige television, watching The White Lotus is definitely more powerful than reading a shitty book.
But the thing is, the exercise of reading a book it's such an exercise.
It does do something to your brain. Right. Have you ever seen the thing where it's like what your brain looks like when you're reading a book versus what your brain looks like when you're watching TV? And it's like one quadrant is asleep when you're watching TV, like nothing's going on. But when you're doing book, it's like
oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I love the thing where it's like they never studied what it looks like when I'm watching TV and on my iPhone playing a game that involves tiles.
See, and this is what I'm thinking, like, if I'm playing 2048 while listening to an audiobook, I'm definitely, like, getting more out of it.
That's a higher art form than a good book.
I'm addicted to Candy Crush still in 2024.
Right. Candy Crush and the other two playing on TV, it's like, that actually can do something to your brain that nothing else can even compete with.
One of the 30 shows I saw at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, this girl did 1 hour of stand-up about how she loves Candy Crush. I was like, yes,
a whole hour
girl.
About Candy Crush?
It was about, like, her neck surgery or her jaw surgery, too, but...
Oh, but no one listened to that.
But the motif, the main thing was Candy Crush. Wait, okay, let's do an episode synopsis really quick before our guest gets here. So today we are covering season 1, episode 4, The Lockout. So I'm going to give a quick synopsis to refresh in your mind what exactly happened in this episode. We've all seen it. We all love it. After Abbi bug bombs her apartment for the weekend and Ilana loses her keys, the girls end up on the streets, just as Abbi is preparing for her first art gallery show ever. A creepy locksmith arrives to help, but out of fear, the girls send him to open the wrong apartment, where they get maced. They head to Solstice to clean up, but Abbi awkwardly explains her maced face to Trey, claiming it was from parkour, prompting him to make her practice parkour in the street. Meanwhile, Ilana gets distracted by Kiehl's products and free tampons in the bathroom. And Abbi's gallery show turns out to be just one of her paintings hung in a vegan sandwich shop, leaving her feeling like a failure. Lincoln arrives, having been invited by Abbi on Facebook, and comforts Ilana, who feels guilty for ruining her friend's big day. In a sweet gesture, Ilana secretly buys Abbi's art to cheer her up, and the girls spend the night at Lincoln's.
Oh my God. I love that you wrote down the sentence. Mace. Trace. Wait.
Mace trans.
Mace Trace face. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, I was playing a little plug and play game.
That was gorgeous.
The Mace
you wrote it down
episode.
and then to say it out loud.
This was I can't wait to talk to our guest about the slapstickality of the pod.
Slapstickality.
The slapstickality of the episode. Do you remember the Glee project when it would be like, this week the theme is sexuality. This week the theme is confidentiality. This week the theme is, you know what I mean?
I was kind of gay in high school. There was like, I love Glee so much, I'm watching the Glee project, but I never watched the show once. I just did it for clout. I said I watched it, which is a crazy thing to do for
The show
clout.
Glee or the Glee project?
The Glee project. Of course I watched every episode of Glee, but I never watched the Glee project.
And something about me is I watched all of the Glee project before I watched Glee.
Huh.
That was my gateway into the
Right.
world. I saw the Glee 3D tour before I saw Glee.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
That's what they're hoping for.
I know.
Oh my God. Well, I can't wait to ask our guest about Glee.
About Glee, amazing segue. We'll be right back. You're an uncle.
I am an uncle, so I am a mom in a way.
Yeah. That doesn't just happen to people.
Oh, no,
No.
it doesn't. In fact, it kind of happens without your consent.
It's like you should have to sign.
You have like a sibling and then they're just like, time for a kid. And you're like, okay. That's how I felt.
That is actually crazy to think about.
Yeah. I was kind of like, I thought we were all in this together to kind of like end the line. No kids.
Right, exactly. But your
That's
brother
why-
moved to Park Slope with a wife
Yes.
from Vassar.
From Vassar.
When I came home from Christian summer camp when I was 13, my stepmom revealed that she was pregnant.
No.
And I was like, well, that's literally
Does that make
not
you an
allowed.
aunt?
It's also like, by the way, I was at camp. You know what I mean? Like, what?
I just remember being like, you can't just add a new character to the family unit
Yes.
13 years later.
When something happens at camp and you come back, are we recording? Are we good right
Yeah.
now? Okay, we're good. When something happens at camp and you come back and you find out that it happened while you were at camp, it's like a violation. In my
I felt
Absolutely.
deeply violated. Like I can still remember how it felt in my body to receive the news.
Yes.
You also, have you ever watched Joe do stand up? He does have about 30 minutes on his experience of going to camp for one summer.
Yes.
And it's the
Was it
best 30 minutes I
Christian?
can.
No, but close.
Close.
Theater.
Whoa.
Yeah. It was a theater
There was
camp.
God
Was it out of
involved.
state?
Yes, it was.
Oh my god.
The cigarette joke truly is one of the funniest jokes I've ever heard.
It was real.
Look at this organic, like, come see him live.
You guys.
Really?
Guys, please welcome to the couch right now, the one and only Joe Castle
Castle
Baker.
Baker.
Hi.
What a good stage name.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Uh-huh.
Did you invent it or not even?
It's actually real. It's real.
It's real. It's real.
My Castle is like my middle name. And
You're so lucky.
I know.
What made you say I have to have Castle in there?
Well, if you look up Joe Baker, there are, I would say, 30 other comedians.
Right.
You name a single profession, there is about 25,000 Joe Bakers doing it. And they are my exact age. They look identical to me. So I needed something that was kind of like, let's differentiate
Right,
a
exactly.
little
Wow.
bit.
Well, what I find is every comedian has someone doing music with the same name as them. There's the Eva
Yes.
Lazarus.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Wait, I feel like I've seen that, but I also say that about every musician I've
Right.
ever heard. If you say musician, I'm like, I have
You
seen
love
that.
Eva
I have,
Lazarus.
yes, I have. And it's like 2 listeners per month on Spotify.
No, she's 30K on TikTok. She's doing well.
Okay, yeah.
She's actually outpacing me. I'd love to catch up to her one day.
Start making music.
Yeah, I gotta start making music.
You should start making music for real. Wait, but let's get into it, Joe. What is your deal with Broad City?
I remember when it came out. I'm like their contemporaries, by the way. And so it was kind of like the show for me came out at a time when it was like so close to home and so reflective of like what I was experiencing that it was kind of like a weird mirror in a way that I like was uncomfortable, but also like funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. It's kind of how people feel about girls, but every day still.
Yes.
But you were living it so viscerally.
Were you
Yes.
part of the UCB machine?
I was
Good
though,
question.
like I didn't start like when this show came out. I wasn't doing comedy.
Oh,
Like when
really?
it first came out, yeah. I was like trying to be a psychologist. So I was like working in a research lab in like the Veterans Administration on 23rd Street.
Were you Joe Castlebaker then, or just Joe Baker?
Just Joe Baker.
You were just Joe Baker.
And I was just like, okay, guy.
Wait, you've had so many chapters.
I really, really, really have. Yeah. So I was like watching the show with that, like, and then I like started doing comedy, like basically a year and a half or like 2 years. Like when it came out in like 2014.
2014.
I
January
started
Well, because the
basically-
other question we have is where were you January 16th?
January, we got to remember the date.
What's the date?
So we thought a new amazing segment for our podcast would be where were you January 22nd?
And that's when the pilot came out,
Yeah.
I have no idea.
You were being psychologist. I feel like most people do comedy and then switch to psychology, but you chose the other track.
I did the other track just to kind of mix things up. I was probably in this lab in the back of the like weird NYU School of Dentistry in the Veterans Administration.
Right. And not to plug your show again, but Joe,
You're like, oh, what words did you just say? I'm blacked out.
Wait, why did you bring up the veterans?
I don't literally. It's like I was confused too. I just showed up every day, and did
Okay.
my job, but it was I didn't understand why there was dentistry involved. I don't know why I was there with the veterans. I was basically like watching videos of couples fighting, and then I would
Whoa.
like do this thing where I would rate how well they.
based off their
came-
teeth.
No, nothing about that. I rate like if they like should they use whitening strips or should they like. No, it was like this thing. I don't even know. It was like an at-home intervention thing that like couples could do, and I would rate them before they took it, and then afterwards, and I would give them a score based on like how
my
well
God.
they.
I feel like if I was
weird.
a couple and I found out that young you was like in charge of fixing my relationship,
Yeah.
I'd be like, well,
But through video?
Well, I didn't do anything with them. I just watched them talk and like rated them.
Was there someone in the room? Or is it
No,
kind of
it
just
was
the
like
two of
me
them
at a
talking?
computer, like watching, like. And the thing is, you'd think it would be like so juicy,
yeah.
and it wasn't at all. It was always like, "I wish you were more expressive," and then the husband would be like, "Yes." It was like so like boring, so boring.
Wait, do you love the show Couples Therapy?
I love the show
Yeah.
Couples Therapy.
I binged it all and I got so upset when it ended because I was like, it's gonna take forever to get a new one.
I know. Yeah. You
Is it
should do
Hulu?
after you've done the season finale.
We've
of-
talked about doing a couples therapy rewatch podcast before.
Yes.
And we'll say it again.
It's weirdly because once a week someone asks us to do that. I haven't even
Wait,
seen the
really?
show, but it is actually happening.
Oh my
often.
god, you should absolutely do that. That show you could really. Oh my god,
You could really
I'm like
get
gonna steal
into
that
it.
idea. I'm gonna
You should do that, honestly.
Yeah.
I really love that show a lot. It's good, and the thing is, like, she's good.
She majored in documentary.
Really?
Yeah.
Not
And
even
Where?
I don't know. I think somewhere in New York.
But she has a PsyD, which is like a doctoral
Well,
clinical
that
psychology
was her
degree.
undergrad.
Interesting.
And then so that's why she's good at the TV
Wait,
thing.
but she's a
That
doctorate
makes
too.
so much sense.
She's so many degrees under her
well,
I know.
pre-med can look like anything.
belt.
That's so true.
I
You just
think-
need to take that bio class.
Yeah.
Right?
Wait, before we dive into the broad and butter of this episode,
No,
hello.
loving that. I'm so glad for keeping. You are really like keeping us. You're kind of like strong. You're being
Yeah,
strong.
She's a
we
captain.
have to. We have a super important question to ask you.
Uh-oh.
Girl, what girl are you?
I really wish I was like Ilana, but I'm Abbi. Is that the question? Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
yeah,
by the
you
way,
did
that's
it,
been
but
everybody so
I'm
far.
so shocked. You're not
Yeah.
Alana.
No.
You can't cartwheel?
And no, I can actually, but it's kind of like, but it's like I can for like a second. You know what I mean?
That's enough. That
just
counts.
well, that's how long a cartwheel is.
Right,
It
exactly.
is. There was like I remember the moment when I actually did remember that I could cartwheel, and I did it like for a whole summer, and I was like, I can cartwheel. I'd be like at like a Target, like I can cartwheel, and then it just faded away.
Well, I think every gay person can cartwheel. I think it's one gift
I
we're all
know.
given. Because I remember in 4th grade, my teacher every single day would do cartwheels during recess. And then I found out later when I met him in P-Town that he was gay.
Oh my
So-
god!
And every gay person can cartwheel. And
I'm
everyone will clap for them.
I'm imagining an adult man cartwheeling around, surrounded by a bunch of like 8-year-olds
Claps every time.
Oh my God.
recess.
That's so powerful.
That is so powerful.
And then do a back handspring. That was a
That's
really
hard.
impressive thing. That's a
That-
hard.
You
He
could
could
do
do-
that?
No. My teacher, Mr. Van Cott, could. I can't. do
Wait,
this
what was
stuff.
his name?
Mr. Van Cott.
Oh, I thought you said Bangkok.
In a way, Bangkok.
That is
Absolutely.
my 5th grade teacher was a gymnast, and for the whole year she'd be like, it's the first day of school, she was like, basically, like, I'm really good at flipping around, and so whenever you guys are good, I'll flip for you. But she wouldn't flip it for us for months and months and months, and we were like, are we really that bad of kids? And then in December, like 4 months into school, she was like, I'm 6 months pregnant. And I was like,
Right.
oh, we're not bad
Oh.
kids. Like, you have a baby in your stomach.
Wait, but you knew that at that age, like, if you were pregnant, you can't do flips?
Of course.
I feel like
wouldn't
at that
know.
age, I was kind of like, okay, you have a baby, flip more for the baby.
If anything, now I'm like, you can flip then, because I know
Right.
about prenatal yoga. You should actually be flipping. That's what's healthiest for you and your baby.
Do you want the baby to want to move its body? You need to be flipping.
Hello. So, girl, what girl are you? I'm Mr. Van Cott. You're a pregnant teacher.
I'm pregnant
Right,
teacher.
exactly.
Yes.
Wait, what makes you Abby though?
I just feel like I am more uptight.
Okay.
You know,
And
enough.
we're gonna cut to our break.
no offense. No offense.
I could see that.
Do you know what I mean?
I could just
I'm like wearing a collared shirt.
I know, but it's unbuttoned with a graphic tee underneath.
I know. That's why the question wasn't easy.
I feel like if you're at a bar with your friend, like, you're the one that's a little bit more reserved.
Yes.
And you're like, well, you're being hyper today.
Yeah, like background in psychology. You know what I mean?
No,
Yeah.
that is true. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Aw. Amelia, girl, what girl are you?
So I am Trey in this episode.
Right.
So what I do is when a friend has a problem, I think parkour will fix it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm always being like, oh, like, you're sad about a breakup. Like, let me like shoot like 11 inspirational quotes that have nothing to do with you at you right now and fix everything. And so I really connected to him being like, you just got to never give up. Let's go jump in the street right now.
I've never got an inspirational quote, I'm realizing.
For me,
From you.
that's not even true.
Well, I'll send you the photos afterwards.
Photos. Girl, what girl are you?
Okay, I'm the guy that Trey's training. I'm like,
Oh,
I-
what's
You're
his
doing
name?
the squats.
I'm doing
Devin?
the squats. I'm Devin doing the squats.
That's not-
Absolutely.
Gavin?
It's Gavin, Adam, something like that.
Yeah.
Whoever that guy could be, I could be him.
By the way, as he was squatting over and over and over, I was like, this is kind of Evan.
Yeah.
Literally. I mean, but he wasn't doing reps to 10, so I'm like, it must have been hard on him at
Oh
some
my
point.
God, yeah. But I
just
feel
keep
like with
going like
squats,
that?
you can really go off.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can really go
Not
off
to
with
talk
squats.
about that.
No, but please.
But yeah. Also, I'm kind of like, who is that actor?
The old man.
No, the actor in the, like, you know what I mean? Like the actor who was doing the squats.
Right.
It's like,
Who
where
could he
where
be?
is he? It's like we look closer and it's like, that's Army Hammer. Or something, you know what I mean? It's like
It was Army Hammer. For those listening who haven't just seen the episode, it was Army Hammer was the guest.
Wait, for
Yes.
the Jake Corn episode, someone commented, they're like, they got Army Hammer on the podcast. Weird way to come back to the zeitgeist.
What?
They got
I don't think Jake
Cornell.
looks like Army
No,
Hammer.
not at all, but it was a really fun comment, wasn't it?
That's so
That's
strange.
so crazy.
Isn't that so strange?
What the hell?
What the hell? Okay,
Um,
now we should cut to our first break.
Yeah, we'll be right back, and we're gonna dive straight into season 1, episode 4, lockdown, lockout.
Lockout.
Locked.
Whatever it could be.
There's no way to know. And we're back.
Oh my
Are you excited
God.
to get into the bread and butter of it?
Yes, I am.
I know. Let's fill up on some
am.
carbs, girl.
I know.
Absolutely.
Shout out to our sponsor today, La Cologne. We really love you, girl. We appreciate you.
I did go to Bodega and spend $5 a pop on each.
So the gist of this episode is, of course, we're talking about that New York City moment when you get locked out of your apartment.
Yes.
What do you do?
I did it to you once, but have you locked yourself out?
I have. But I think luckily I've always had roommates or like somebody that could let me in.
Right.
Always?
That's so nice.
Whenever I've been locked out, I've like for the first time in my life, I'm living alone, like as of a couple years ago, and I locked myself out for the first time there, and that was really kind of like, I'm really alone now, aren't I? You know, this moment of like really being scared. And then I found my keys. So
Damn.
Right, because Abbi and Ilana have that relationship where it's like you always give one of your friends a key to your apartment for this kind of situation. Unfortunately, they have bug bombed Abbi's apartment, so even if Ilana had given her the key, you can't go back for it.
no.
The bug bombing thing. The episode starts with Abbi being like, "Why is it up to me?" And it is like so much of living in New York is your landlord asking you to do something for them. Like when I moved into my new apartment, I was like, the mailbox doesn't work, and he's like, "Can you grab this set of keys I left like on the floor in the corner and go make 4 copies and then bring them back?" And I was like, I don't think so.
No.
Oh, really? I have a gay couple owns this apartment. It's our only rental property. The guy's here every single weekend. We have so much fun with him.
Well,
What do they do?
So last week he was painting this. The other day he was cutting hedges, and then the third day he was telling me about different cruising spots in New York City.
Oh
So
my
he has a lot of
God.
fun. He gets up
He
to
has
a lot of fun.
he did ask you to buy a trash can and then he'll reimburse you.
Yeah, but he'll pay. He's literally here every single weekend unless he's in Provincetown.
That's so sweet.
I know. He's so good. He's because it's his only property, so he has to invest money into this until he sells it to BlackRock, he told me.
Do
Oh
you
my
think
God. He's such a good guy.
Do you think landlords can be good?
I think that some landlords can be good, though I think all of them should be treated like witches, kind of, where you're kind of like, you're really powerful. I'm going to respect you, but I'm also going to keep my distance from you. That's how I feel.
You might burn them at any moment.
Yes.
Oh my God. Except for this guy, because I love Doug, not the docs.
Bleep that out.
I remember when Kristen Bell and Zach Shepard were revealed to be landlords during the COVID-19 pandemic crisis. And everybody on Twitter got so mad that they were like, okay, we won't make our tenants pay rent right now. So they didn't make
That
our
is so
tenants
funny. That's why it's
pay.
like, if you're a landlord, you have to keep it a secret.
Literally.
If I ever became a landlord, I would never tell a soul. I'd be like, every time I'd call my like tenants, I'd be like, using like one of those like voice changers. I would never let them know a thing about me.
Absolutely.
Well, some landlords get famous off being landlords. They're so bad
know.
at it, which I think is a cool way to get famous.
Yeah.
Like the Rolos people, no one's eating at Rolos because they're such bad landlords.
Oh, really?
And I had a landlord in college. The apartment below us flooded, so our landlord kindly and then did not so kindly asked if the people below us could move into our apartment upstairs, even though it was fully booked.
Oh my
I
God.
heard about that at 10 people in a 5-bedroom apartment.
What?
I miss him.
That's so great.
And then everyone cried.
I've had like really bad landlords. My last apartment, my bathroom was gradually falling.
Right.
I would say an inch every year. And then we would call
What part of it?
I would step out of the shower and then boom, like the whole floor. And I was on the 3rd floor. So I was like, we're going to die. Something's wrong here. And we kept telling them, and they were like, it's nothing. Were you jumping in there? I was like, no. And also, I feel like I shouldn't be able to jump without the floor falling.
Yeah.
I'm not like an elephant,
Like-
you know? It was incredible.
So
and then
funny.
eventually they fixed it. But yeah, for years they were like,
How do you even fix the floor falling down?
they had to like, I think, take out the whole thing and make sure there was nothing really structurally wrong.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, like,
And
that
there was,
shouldn't
like,
happen.
right.
You know? I forget what ended up happening, but yeah, that was pretty spooky for sure.
I'm just so curious. So Ilana then gives the wrong apartment to the locksmith.
Yeah,
'cause
that
she's
turn,
so
that kind of was kind of. I have thoughts about that.
That is one of the craziest turns of all of history.
Yeah. So if you guys can recall, Abbi is going to spend the weekend at Ilana's while her house is being bug bombed. But then she loses her keys. So they call a locksmith and it's like the scariest dude ever that's going to rape and murder them vibes. So they're like, I know what to
Finger up.
do. I'll tell him to open the door 1 foot away from mine and that'll keep us safe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will say, when he showed up on screen, I was like, he's hot. The locksmith. And then they reacted immediately, like, you know when like somebody like a friend of yours reacts to a certain thing and you're kind of like, oh yeah, actually I have that reaction. I don't like that. But, like,
You're like,
second
wait,
I was like, this
DTF.
guy's hot. And then they were like, ew, pervert. And I was like, yeah, he's scary. He's really scary.
I think it's an aesthetic choice though, because I think back then that was a scary aesthetic, but that's how almost every hot person dresses now.
Yes, yeah.
Right. So he would be considered hot coded today.
And not to
Totally.
bring up Army Hammer, I think it's the call me by your namification of society that makes us think that's hot now.
That's interesting.
Please elaborate on that.
Yeah.
Just in that, we used to think Zac Efron was like the cute hot thing, but then Called Me by Your Name swept the nation, and
then who's
Timothy
hot to you?
and
Right.
everybody thought Timothy Chalamet was so hot, and they're like, well, if Timothy thinks Armie Hammer's hot, then guys who look like Armie Hammer might be hot.
I see what you're saying.
Oh, because Timothy Chalamet is so hot, and when he thought AH.
Yeah, kind of
It's
exactly
right.
what happened to you with Abbi and Ilana
Yes.
being like, this is ugly. It's like when Timothy said this is hot, we were like, oh, okay, yeah.
That's so interesting
I-
how it kind of changes over time like that.
Yeah.
I love
I
the way
think-
Ilana
yeah.
closes her jacket though when he arrives.
Yes, that's
Full shawl.
that's how I knew when she did that reaction. I was kind of like, oh wait, no, I'm wrong. And then of course at the end of the episode when he
Breaks
does
into
break
the
in,
house.
you're kind of like, I'm wrong.
Right.
I take it back.
But any other show that could be a hot fantasy.
Yeah, well then the whole time I was kind of like, this guy's creepy, but he's he's doing his job. And
Right,
then at the end of the
exactly.
episode, I'm kind of like, okay, they were right. He's bad. And then he does the weird thing at the when he also the way he unlocks that door.
Or
Yeah,
door.
he fucks
Yeah.
the door and is like, this is what we call
Well,
a
he
whore
spits
door.
on the
Yes,
key.
'Cause it's
he
easy.
sucks the key,
She sucks the key.
which I was kind of like, I bet that was improvised.
They know all the best UCB actors of all time.
Yeah,
and they
they
can book
do.
them on a show for one crazy role every time.
I
they
can't get over
kill.
the slapstick comedy of this episode.
There is some.
Well,
yes,
the parallel
that-
to parkour here, because she's trying to get into
Yes.
the apartment. She's actually doing parkour as she tries to climb that one
oh
ladder.
yeah, that whole sequence with the ladder.
That actually killed me because the first iteration of them falling is so awkward,
Yes.
in the way that falls actually happened. It wasn't cool, it was an action movie. It was just Alana's hand landing weird and Abbi being like, oh fuck, hey.
Yeah, it really is awkward. And then
Yeah.
them landing in those trash bags, I was like, that got me concerned too.
Well, I was concerned because
Yeah.
I'm like, hard stuff is usually in trash bags. I'm like, but what did the PA put in there to make it soft?
I know.
I can't stop thinking about what
What
the
did
PA
the
put in
PA put in
there to
there?
make it soft.
It must have just been.
Yeah, that should be one of our
That
new
should be your
questions.
your new question.
Have
What
to
did the
have
PA put in
that. What did the
there?
PA put in there?
It's also a good vocal warm-up.
Right, it
The
sure is.
intro of an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole slapstick is so funny. And then that whole scene also is a great metaphor for both the parkour that we later get into
Yes.
and how parkour is it's a great metaphor for the TV show itself, because parkour is freedom of exploring space, which they
Yes.
love to do. Freedom of expression, which they love to do again.
Yes.
Exercise, but not really doing it all the way, which they love to do.
You are spitting bars today,
Absolutely.
girl.
Parkour-
And there's more I could say even. taking advantage
me
of
started,
taking
please.
advantage
Yeah.
of an urban environment.
Literally taking advantage of our urban environment.
Yes.
Literally.
Is the city your playground?
That's another great question.
That's another great
Wait,
question.
is the city your playground though?
I feel like it used to be. Now it's kind of like I'll let others enjoy it for a second. I'm gonna take a pause. I'm gonna take a breather. You guys hang out and
Right.
enjoy it.
That's what happens when you're a car owner.
I
You're like,
literally
you walk around. I'll
delete
be
that.
in here.
Delete that out. The car.
like
We're
being a
gonna bleep
landlord.
that. Yeah, that's like being a landlord having a car. Delete.
Amelia, cut that.
Wait, I need to put your 2007 car on turbo.
Yes.
Someone needs to rent that from you.
Can you imagine how much should I charge?
$1.
300.
Become a car. That is a
Car
car
landlord.
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 I had rented one of those cars once.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
It was I rented a van because I was gonna go pick up some furniture that I wanted an auction for $50.
Love it.
And I rented this white creepy van. And it was the scariest thing ever, but it worked. It did it.
If it
Well,
works,
if
it
it
works.
works.
He charged me $100.
But he said 50.
No, the furniture was cheaper than the car.
Oh
Damn.
my god!
I know.
Look
Isn't
at the
that-
hidden fees.
U-Haul
so
should be
scary.
$19.95 an hour
$19.95 for my car.
No, for U-Haul.
for U-Haul for 1 hour of van.
It was for some reason there was not a single U-Haul available. There was nothing. I was freaking out.
You have to go to Home Depot.
This was kind of like a Broad City moment for me. This.
Oh, really?
This
Save it,
most
save it, save
recent.
it, save it, save it.
But I've had so many that we can really
We
kind of
could
take our
just
time
dive
and pick
in.
whatever one I want. Yeah.
I love
so
it.
funny.
Okay, I think we have to talk about gentrification.
Oh,
God.
yeah,
I'm
that's
glad. Thank you for bringing
right.
the conversation there.
The show really dives in there in this way.
The way Girls does not and Broad City really is every every episode we're interacting with a homeless person in a problematic way.
I know, and
They
their
love
neighbors.
to do that.
Well, the entire thing of this episode, the arc of this episode is that they become more and more visually like that of a homeless person.
Yeah, you're right.
In a way that's like, are we doing this?
Also, the like makeup that they gave them for having been pepper sprayed is like so funny to me. That, like,
Well, it's on trend now.
I know. I was kind of like, wait, okay.
It's kind of kind.
I know, because girls are like, put blush all over your face right now. They were ahead of the curve.
Well, I think there's a great metaphor for gentrification in this episode where when they break into the apartment initially of their neighbor who's a Mexican family, and Abbi goes to reach for the Mexican candy and it turns out to be nerds.
I know. That is really funny. That's actually one of my favorite lines in it.
It's such a good line, but it also just like shows that it's like we live in such different worlds. In our mixing pot, we don't even cross over, but actually everyone's eating nerds.
Yeah, exactly.
And I do think like a lot of people say Broad City isn't self-aware, like they're being problematic and they don't know it, but the whole like every joke is like making fun of these girls for being so like unaware, like so basic white girls.
Right.
Like in this episode when Ilana gets locked out, she's like, so this is so hashtag white people problems, no worries, but you are locked out. And then Abby's like, I'm allowed to be upset and white.
I know. I was like, whoa, advanced for the time.
But then what does Ilana say? She goes into a whole thing where she's like, in 3 generations, gentrification will be an obsolete word because everybody will be queer and caramel.
Yes, that's right.
Well, that's the reason abortion's illegal.
Yeah, they don't
because
want
Republicans learned about that and they're like, we actually have to have so many white children. And all these white people have to keep having their babies.
Yes.
I literally read a book about this and tried to explain this idea to my mother and she got really upset.
Yeah, well, do you remember? I don't know if I'm making this up actually, so you might not remember because I invented it. But there was this like cover of a Time magazine where it was like, this is the future of the world. This is what the average human person will look like. And it was like this composite of all these faces. And it was like this model face of like this woman who was like very light brown skin. And she was just like really hot. And I was like, okay, I'm down with that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, we're all going to be really hot.
I thought you were talking about the picture where it's like people that work at their desk for 50 hours and like this is what the body will look like after 9 to 5s for 40 years.
That's how we'll like evolve to be better adapted. And it's like a hunchback. It's like, yeah. It'll be that, but we'll be like really tan. Yeah.
I saw an image of like an old man with a beer belly like looking up in a cradle, but instead of like little toys hanging, it's like all the social media apps.
Oh
and
my
it's
God.
like I saw that last night for 1 second on Twitter. I had a whole like all my dreams last night were about that.
Isn't it funny that an image like that will do numbers online?
Well, there's AI sludge.
Yes.
Have you guys seen the photo of a girl who's like wet on a boat in the middle of the hurricane?
No.
And there's another photo of like Donald Trump with water up to here with American flag behind him as he carries a child through the hurricane waters. No. And all these people on the internet think it's a real thing because they have no digital literacy. So they think Donald Trump is truly in Florida right now with a completely dry American flag behind him as he carries children through the waves of water.
I do think it's
crazy.
I think it's older generations that are like proliferating that kind of thing.
No, literally. But politicians will repost it and then they find out it's fake, but they're like, it's emblematic of something larger. Where it's like of AI being crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, it's ridiculous what's going on. I love
do
the internet.
think though that like the second an older person gets like humiliated by believing something that's so fake is real,
right?
That they do kind of go like, oh, wait a minute, maybe I won't do that anymore. You know what I mean?
I think they learned their lesson.
Yeah. I do think it's like really embarrassing.
No, they have to put CNN back on, or at least Fox.
Yeah.
Like they need real news. No more Facebook for them.
Have you guys seen the videos of Anderson Cooper getting attacked by
the tile?
Falling?
Yeah, wait, somebody was talking about that yesterday with me. And there was like a bunch of like gay people like retweeting it or something saying like, it's Kathy Griffin. Like, like throwing, I forget what it was they said.
I saw a Brat remix like fan edit of Anderson Cooper just like getting hit all over doing hurricane coverage.
Which is slapstick.
I love
remixes. Like Ilana bringing the pole onto the subway.
That moment, I kind of was like, it was like the quietest moment of the whole episode. And I was kind of like, stunned by it. I loved it.
Their ability to convey hard, real truths about New York City life, just visually.
I loved that like bit. I thought that was so funny.
Well, the worst part about social media is that it refuses to let you do slapstick. Like you need an intro, you need to say something, you need a hook in the beginning, and it's hard for it to be a slapstick hook.
I know.
So a beautiful moment like Ilana bringing a pole for her closet into the subway, and everyone thinking it's actually a subway pole, and then falling over.
I love this. It's so funny. It was really funny.
I feel like people always bring that up, like over the years when you bring up Broad City, people are like, that pole thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that until I didn't remember it, at least if I'd seen it before. But yeah, I thought that was really funny.
I love it when they're walking into Abby's little sandwich shop thing, and Ilana's like, "Oh, I'll come in," and like hits the pole against the door. And I was like, "Never mind, I'll sit outside."
I like how she gets also like when she gets maced, it's because she grabs the pole in the house for the first time. So
well, she's
funny.
saying she's making her bedroom a closet, which I'm like, I would love to see that happen. I wonder what she could even mean by that.
I know. I wanted to see that.
How do you make your...
I thought she was making her closet her bedroom.
So her bedroom is becoming a walk-in closet, but she's still going to live inside the closet. And that makes her closeted.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What does Lincoln say?
He's like, well, that's another way to look at it, I guess. Because he's being like, I actually think it's a really bad idea to turn your bedroom into a walk-in closet. And she's like, you're right, because it would make me closeted. He's like, no, but I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Like, that makes sense.
Wow.
Really beautiful stuff. Well, my big question is, why does Lincoln, week after week, he has to literally pull Ilana out of the darkest situation possible, and then he loves her still so much, and she refuses to like be with him. If someone was that nice to me, I would, of course, marry them on the spot. No one's been that kind in all history.
Actually, I feel like since you have a psychology background,
Right.
you would actually be able to get
couples therapy.
I think that you need to have a little bit of tension in order to desire.
Oh.
You can't have everything be given to you. Then
Wait,
otherwise
that's
it's
actually
not
really good
like,
advice.
you need to have a little bit of like resistance to kind of work against.
That is true.
Either
That's
it's
like a big boy.
That
it's
is true.
if you're too available, it's a turn off.
Well,
Isn't
it is
it?
just like Abbi and Ilana go through this whole charade of events, and it's like you could have just called this guy who's obsessed with you, but
yeah.
she's like, I don't want to ask him for favors because we're just fuck buddies.
Yeah.
This is about my personal life, but how long should you wait to text back if you've been texting a lot?
We're like, wait, stop recording for a second. Let's dive in. I want to show you these messages. Wait, what's the question? How long?
So we've been texting so much, but then I can't see this person at all because we're away for a month. But we've been texting so much, and it's like, well, I can't see you for 3 more weeks. How long should I wait to text again?
I say literally text whenever you want.
Okay, that's beautiful.
And deal with the consequences.
Well, by the way, that's not what you said a second earlier.
Yeah, but then there's also like a point where it's like kind of like do whatever you want and then face the consequences.
And that's their whole thing.
Yeah.
Why did that give me chills? Let's cut to our second break, and when we get back, we'll finish covering the episode and jump into our final segments. And we're back. Now, I think it's time we discuss the difference between being poor and being broke, and how these girls are broke behavior.
Right, there is such a difference because they both come from well-to-do backgrounds. So being broke, I think, is more of the state of mind being like, you don't necessarily have the highest income now, but your parents let you pay. They paid for your college.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of the broke lifestyle. Like, you feel very empowered to go to a hotel and steal all the soap.
Yes.
You'll take a bag of bagels outside.
Yes.
But I think to be poor is a completely different state of mind.
It's completely different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, great.
And,
And so let's do another break.
I will say
Right.
it's interesting because the girls and girls are like similar backgrounds technically, but they would never behave in the, like, if they had to bug bomb their apartment, they're going to do the beach house episode, you know?
Yeah.
But these girls are like, we're gonna get covered in mace and steal soap from Solstice and like end up on the street eating garbage bagels.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is it about these girls? Like, is it like what makes them feel so like they want to be a part of the New York City?
I do think it's kind of like they're like at this age where it's like they see, like, it feels like it's almost like you're clipping coupons or something when you like, and I remember feeling the same way where you like see like free soap and you're like, why wouldn't I do that?
No,
or like
absolutely.
you see free bagels and you're like, wait, that's such a great idea. I'm going to take that whole thing. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
it does just feel kind of like a cheat code. And then like over time, you're kind of like, this is not really saving me that much money, or it's like not even really worth it, or like whatever. But like there is this feeling of like, I don't know how to like. I don't know what it is.
It's exciting to take the
thrilling,
bagels.
yeah.
It's like it's not even about the bagels. It was
No.
never about the bagels. But
It's
to
just the
have
fact that
something
they're
free,
free.
Yeah.
right? Exactly. That's the most empowering feeling.
I am actively feeling myself grow out of that every day. Like the way, like when you used to go to a place and they offer you like a free muffin, you're like, I have to have the muffin. It's free.
No, but then there's something about being like, no. That feels like so like everyone had like their heads all turned and they're like, oh my god, they said no to the free muffin. You know, it's like it
It's a
feels
sign of
like
maturity.
so kind of complex.
When I'm at a birthday party and I'm like, I actually don't even want cake, so I'm gonna not have it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, younger me would be freaking out right now.
I know, isn't it? Like it does feel kind of like this strange indulgent thing almost.
Yeah.
Right.
Like to say no.
I can't do it yet. I would love to get there. I'm so close. I can feel it in my bones.
If there's one thing about Evan, like he stayed there.
Like, come to my bedroom
Enjoy
right
it.
now. Look under my bed. It's like the bagels are there.
Yeah.
I
No,
can't
in my
throw 'em
family, they
away.
never grew out of this. Like we have every time that my family, anybody in my family stays at a hotel, they take every single toiletry that they could find. So we have in our house just like 99 like Hilton, Hyatt, like, you know, shampoo, conditioner, shampoo, like body wash, like, and there's like maybe like 4 millimeters in each bottle.
Right.
It's like an apothecary of like hotels. Like, it's just, you know.
Hotels have really switched their vibe from the little things to like 3 pumps that they refill.
Yes.
And I'm
Right.
like, you should have been doing that a long time ago because of the environment.
Yes.
But like also like what happened to Souvenir?
I know.
You know what? I actually did see this trend for a while, but I think they're going back the other way. They've gotten feedback that people don't like the pumps. They'd like to take the bottles home, and they're willing to go other way to put a little bit more money into soap bar.
Yeah.
Wow. I also
Whoa.
think like brands partner with hotels to be like, we want our products here so people
Yes.
try us out and then they get addicted and they buy.
Yeah, because they're licensing the products. When you're like a higher end brand, it is like so important to. I mean, the whole thing just happened with Equinox, where they had the Kiehl's products, which this is based off of. So
Yes.
Ilana goes into the bathroom, she goes Kiehl's, and then she
I
takes the
know.
bag, pumps it. But now
Yeah.
they're with pharmacy or something, and it was truly the biggest thing to ever happen online for some reason. But everyone was so upset that Equinox, which is famous for Kiehl's, went to pharmacy.
That is such a
Yeah.
disgrace.
It's such a disgrace.
In my opinion.
That's kind of how I feel about Emma Chamberlain's coffee being like at Whole Foods. It's like I wanted to order it from her website only.
Yeah.
Right, and you deserve that.
I know. And almost like Whole Foods is kind of like tainted now. in a
It's
way.
over.
It's not even like, it's like basically a Rite Aid.
I know.
Well, here's the thing. It's like Whole Foods. Whole Foods
Never
used
heard
to be
that. You
the
know what I
only
mean? place
place to get like awesome drinks.
Yes.
But now you go to any bodega and they've got like recess. They've got adaptogen sparkling water.
Yes.
It's like
Oh.
whatever you thought you were getting at Whole Foods, you can literally
Go
get
anywhere.
at the corner.
Actually,
No.
I like to argue this point a little bit.
Yeah,
Whole Foods
please.
is so good at stocking local items. You can't
they
really find it at other
are-
stores.
They aren't so bad, but there is this kind of like Walmartification happening
Right.
a little bit too.
I like that you feel that way. It's good to have this conversation. I don't feel that way for a single second. For me, Whole Foods, and I hate to say this because I'm not even buying so much there, I'll just go there to walk around at times. When I'm
Yeah.
stressed in my everyday life, I'm
Every
always going to
day,
Whole Foods.
Evan goes to Whole Foods and
Not-
steals a pineapple. Like
This is another place where you can really get away
Oh,
with
absolutely.
stealing. They kind of encourage it.
No, I think they encourage it there because it's good for their like mystique. Like
There's
they want
also
to be like
so
we're
many
cool.
ways to steal there. Now that we have the self-checkout, you can buy those like $24 rare Japanese strawberries and then just click like strawberries and then like, charge it like for $2, you know?
Well,
You
you
know,
know they're
Target-
filming you, but they don't even care. Because I went to a ShopRite the other day. I accidentally didn't scan something. They put a video up of me not swiping it. Like it's play by play.
Wait, what?
I didn't swipe it all the way, and then they literally showed me a video of me not swiping it.
When
They're
did they show it to you?
immediately after me putting it into the bag?
What did they say? What did
They're like,
they
we think you didn't scan it, and we're like, oh, they caught my ass so red-handed.
I can't believe that. So the whole screen became
It's me.
what?
I felt like a star, but also
That I've never seen that before.
well, Target like collects it until they can charge you for a felony. Like they'll collect
I've
every
heard that.
instance.
I've heard that.
But also, I read that I saw a tweet.
That is reading.
Yeah,
Continue though.
and by the way, that's reading. That Target changed their pricing to account for the amount and percentage of shoplifting into their
That is
prices.
crazy. For me,
So.
Target's too scary to shoplift. It's too scary. in
right.
there.
I used to in college shoplift and then like be like, oh my God, guys, like I accidentally put this in my pocket.
Yes.
Like as if I convinced my friend that it happened accidentally, that I couldn't be held accountable.
Yes.
Or like
Right.
so you put the nail polish in your pocket and then you walked out of the store and you pretended that you forgot and why do you want me to believe that?
I think I did accidentally steal something once.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
it?
I would say 99% of the time it was not an accident. Also, I don't know a single soul that doesn't steal.
No, you have to.
You have to.
It's the
I
only
don't know
way.
a single soul.
I feel like people who stay in their hometown might steal less, but
Maybe, yeah.
Oh,
if you can make it here, you can steal anywhere.
well, talking about improving your body and your mind, doing brain Kegels and also doing Keys Wallet Phone, which
Yeah.
Phone
actually
Keys Wallet.
Phone Keys Wallet, which actually was popularized from this episode. It
Really?
was always in the zeitgeist, this term, but Broad City is actually is known for popularizing this term
Whoa, I had
and
no
adding it to the
idea.
zeitgeist. Isn't that beautiful?
Wow. That's crazy.
Shows have impact.
That really like changed my life because I used to just be a mess.
No, literally.
And that really kind of
3 words.
Phone Keys
So
Wallet.
that was
3
like
words
a-
that can change life.
that was
Yeah.
like a millennial 2010s thing.
But Broad City's the thing that made it popular.
Shout out Hannibal.
Yeah,
Literally.
for real.
His delivery, every sentence kills me.
He's
when,
great.
when he brings up the Harvey boys with
I
Abbi.
know, yeah.
And she's like, those are fictional, but I like the sentiment.
And then his face reaction afterwards. True,
It's
that
so
gagged me
funny.
so hard, girl.
Well, we have to talk about the emotional depth of this episode. So this is the 4th episode so far.
It sucks that we haven't gone there
No,
yet.
I was waiting.
And it's like we actually haven't really seen either girls get really vulnerable with each other, but at this point they literally reach a breaking point. So we're like, okay, they're best friends, they literally are never mad at each other. That can't be true. When Abbi actually gets upset and is like, Ilana, you're not being supportive, you're ruining my big day, and then Ilana feels really guilty, that like actually shows like the realness of their friendship, that like they can have like punctures and then repair it, like Ilana secretly buying the art to like make Abbi feel better.
Yeah.
But it's like the fact that Ilana feels so guilty and the fact that Abbi like comes out and is like, sorry, I was being bitchy, like I just like was really sad about my art. It like shows like a certain depth to the show that like will keep us coming back for more.
Yeah, it is. There, I was thinking about that where I was kind of like, oh, there's tension, you know, and then it kind of gets healed
Right.
really quickly.
It gets healed really quick, but it still happens.
It's
Yes.
episodic. They don't have time.
Yeah.
They don't have time.
I think one thing I did notice is that Ilana is very apologetic with Hannibal on the bench outside, being like, I really messed up Abby's big day. But then when they actually entered a vegan sandwich shop, Abby's the one that apologized to Ilana, and Ilana's like, thank you so much, and it's totally okay. But Ilana doesn't reciprocate the apology.
That's true. But then Ilana buys the painting.
Her love language is gift giving, maybe?
Gift
Maybe.
buying. for
Buying.
her,
Buying?
right?
Buying, yeah.
And
Acts of service.
Acts of
That's what it
service.
is.
Yes, acts of service.
I do love, what's his name? Titus? Hannibal.
Hannibal.
Lincoln.
Lincoln. Titus.
No, I was, yeah. I
Sorry,
know.
it is Titus. We're crazy.
Lincoln trying to make Ilana feel better. Like, I'm a dentist and I love candy so bad I have 6 cavities.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I one time was dating this guy, and both his parents were dermatologists, but he kept getting sunburns because he told me he didn't believe in sunscreen.
That's
feels
just
really similar to
this. But that's also like a kid just reacting to his parents.
He
Yeah,
was like
fighting back to the
25,
parents.
but
It's like,
it's awesome.
Fuck off, you know? Like, I'm gonna, you know?
LOL.
Interesting.
It really is. And the one last thing we have to talk about is veganism in the year 2024.
Yeah, that also is kind of, as I was watching it again, I was like, is this an issue? I was just kind of like, that felt like a cultural shift for me, where it was
Right.
like, she had such a hard time with the idea that like a sandwich shop was vegan.
It's also interesting because in real life, Abbi Jacobson's a vegetarian,
Yeah.
which I know because when I worked at a vegetarian restaurant in Toronto, she came in and she was like, is it vegetarian for real? And I was like, that's correct.
Wow.
But vegetarians
So it's-
often, and I hate to use this word, have beef with vegans.
You went there.
Yeah, because, well, here's the thing. When I was a vegan for 5 years, when bitches were like, I'm a vegetarian, I'm like, all you do is eat mac and cheese. Like, you're not saving anyone.
My boyfriend's vegetarian, and that is true.
Like,
That is
they just go
true.
really hard with dairy. And I'm like, okay, well, the dairy industry is really bad.
Yes. No, the secret about vegetarians is that they actually just like want to eat the kiddie menu
Literally.
wherever they go. That is literally all it is. It's like you just want the kiddie menu.
They life
so
hack their way
funny.
out of being an adult.
They really
Yes.
are like positarians. My dad created that term.
What is that? Just pasta?
It's a girl who loves to eat pasta.
Yes.
My little sister's a pastatarian.
It's
I'm
people
like
that never
the
grew up.
opposite. I'm the
Really?
opposite of that. Yeah.
My
Which
parents.
is herbivore.
No, I don't even know. I don't even know what I am. I'm
Do you
literally
do smoothie or?
no. I'm like a member of the Park Slope Food Co-op.
With Rachel and Senna.
Wait.
No, Rachel. Rachel Antonoff. No, what's her name?
There's a bunch
Alana
of-
Glazer's a part of
Alana
it.
Glazer.
Yes, that's right.
Oh my god, but Rachel.
You are not beating the Alana allegation.
I know, though.
What's her name?
Maybe I switched. Maybe I am
No.
Alana.
Wait, who's the one that just got into celebrity got in trouble for not actually doing their shifts at the Park Slope Food Co-op?
Oh,
Alana
yeah.
in Broad City season 4.
Yeah, but there's
Yes.
also in real life Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Really?
Yeah, she hired someone to do her shifts at the Park
No.
Slope Food Co-op, and everyone was
Wait,
mad at
that's
her.
the funniest thing. You can't do that. Not allowed.
So funny.
That's funny. But yeah, I'm not a pescatarian. I'm definitely like reading Bon Appetit magazine.
Yeah.
wow.
It is crazy. Like
I'm
the,
glad we clarified.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
really important.
you know,
Yeah.
the 2010s were all about mixologists and like
Yes.
calling like somebody who works at a sandwich shop a sandwich artist.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's like
it's-
the Subway thing, isn't it?
Mhm.
Too.
I think so. Yeah.
Where they like call them sandwich
Sandwich
artists.
artists.
Also, the thing of like Trey talking about Quiznos.
I know. So he's like,
That
it's
like
bad.
really made me so sad about like Quiznos no longer being with us.
Is it gone?
Yeah.
Wait, it's-
there's not a single Quiznos that I know of
The
anymore.
fact that Qdoba survived and Quiznos didn't.
I know.
It's a crazy world we live
Wait,
in.
did Qdoba
There's one a
survive?
block.
There's one
not
right-
the docks, but there's a block.
The amount of people we've told we live one block away from a
Find a one Qdoba in New York City.
There used to be more though.
We have the last Qdoba on earth here.
Wow, you really do.
And I'm keeping it open.
They're holding it strong. Yeah, holding it down. But yeah, no Quiznos.
No Quiznos.
And let me tell you something. I loved Quiznos.
It's better than Subway.
100%.
Oh.
1000%.
I think I went there once in high school and I got the kids pizza and it
No,
was like
wow.
it was like flatbread with like cheese melted on
that's
it.
not right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think this brings us into our next segment.
Yes.
Joe Castle Baker.
Mm.
What is your Broad City moment?
I'm literally like, I was not expecting you. This is the one thing you were like, you have to prepare this. You know, for me, I feel like I have, like I was saying earlier, I have so many. The one that I want to say isn't even that funny.
That literally, by the way, that's fine.
This
with
isn't
us.
a comedy podcast, it's edutainment.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
You did move us into the comedy segment on podcasting.
Yes.
Yeah, so what's the reality there?
It's like we have a lot of haters who don't think we're like good enough at like English essays, but we were like, we never claimed to be an English essay. Like if you
Yeah.
want to analysis, just read the Vulture recap.
Yes. I support you.
Thank you.
Okay, so for me, my Broad City moment was like when I was visiting New York in high school, actually. And
Oh, wow.
I met someone on the 6 train, and then that's how I lost my virginity.
Oh my god, what?
What?
Yes. Yes.
Wait, but
You
can
met
you
someone
elaborate?
on
or
the 6 train.
Yes.
When
And
you were
then
16 years old.
When I was like, I had just turned 18.
Okay.
And I was a senior in
That
high
fixes
school.
a lot.
That makes it all totally cool.
Yeah.
And totally perfect. And then he made a missed connections ad on Craigslist, and I responded to
found
that.
it?
Yes.
Oh my god, what?
I know, isn't that
How
the
did you have the
craziest thing?
knowledge to be like, I'm day one in New York, I'm going on misconnections?
When you're gay, things happen differently. I just knew about like misconnections. I don't know how.
What was the interaction on the train?
We like made eyes at each other, like in a very like specific way where we were like, you know,
Wait, what was the ad on Craigslist saying?
I was there on a choir field trip.
Right.
I can't believe I'm talking about
Duh.
this. This is so private. But I feel like also anything that you say after 30 minutes on a podcast is like
No one will
sacred.
hear, yeah.
It's sacred. And so it's like you can do whatever you want.
And we're not gonna like clipify it.
You're not
so-
going to be like, you know, clip and then like.
It will be 3 clips instead of 1.
Perfect. Yeah. No, it was, I think I had like music notes written all over my Vans.
Shut
And
up.
so that
The
was
fact that
like
you're wearing
the
Vans
thing.
today.
And I'm wearing Vans today. I actually looked down and saw that. So I just kind of
With Van socks,
With
which
Van
is
Socks
awesome.
sponsor.
second sponsorship.
Second sponsor.
Yeah, and then he made like to the boy with like musical notes on his shoes, like da 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 da.
That is so magical.
And then the night that we were gonna meet up, I was like at my best friend's like grandma's Italian American house in the Bronx in Morris Park, having a huge Italian dinner in their basement, and their cousin worked for Con Ed. And so they were all like, I was like, yeah, I have to go to like St. Mark's later because I was going to meet with this guy and we were going to like get a drink or something. And they were like, yeah, don't worry. Like, it's too dangerous. You can't take the train. So their cousin drove me in the Con Edison truck from the Bronx to St. Mark's and dropped me off outside this bar to go meet with this guy who I met on the 6 train.
And you're like, I just had a pound of spaghetti.
Yes, I just had like sausage and peppers and I'm about to go have gay sex for the first time.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Was he cool?
He was, yeah.
Wow.
It was really
Wait, did you
sweet.
sleep at his or how did you get home?
We took a cab. We took a cab to his place, and then I think we slept at his place.
Oh, what did you tell the family?
I said that I was just going out. I don't even know what I said.
You said I'm going out, I'm not coming back.
I'm
Don't wait
going
up.
out, and you'll never see me again. I don't remember what I said. I
They put a
lied.
missing person report. Someone with musical notes on their vans.
But yeah, isn't that like so the Con Ed truck?
The Con Ed
It's like-
truck of it all is so Broad City.
Yeah.
And the idea that you had like a giant dinner.
Yes. Yes.
And you're there for choir.
Yes.
Did you sing at Carnegie Hall?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're so good, Amelia.
How did you know?
She just learned about Carnegie Hall too.
Because my brother in high school was he played the big bass in the orchestra.
Yeah.
And my dad was always bitching about like paying for their trip to New York because they just like pay to perform at Carnegie Hall, and he's like, that's not real. It shouldn't count. These like fuckers like think they did something. They didn't even earn it.
Sadly, we didn't really. I mean, we did. We competed in this thing and we won like this national competition. So we sang with like 4 other choirs at Carnegie Hall. But we still like had to pay. You know, it
For
was like,
sure.
But it was like
Well,
incredible.
I'm convinced the only reason for Carnegie Hall today is so elementary, middle, and high schools have a place to play.
Yes.
Literally.
Because I played there in elementary school. Everyone in my school district played the recorder, and we all went to Carnegie Hall,
Wait.
separated by elementary schools.
I thought it was supposed to be like a notoriously hard place to like perform.
No, I did in elementary school. I didn't even learn the song, so anyone can play that.
And you're playing recorder. That should be so. Wow.
Westchester acts different.
It acts
Yeah,
different.
they do.
We're bust in.
Yeah. Wow.
Damn.
That's
Wow.
incredible.
That is
That's
awesome.
such a Broad City moment.
Do you have one from this week?
I was just gonna say the whole thing of them getting maced reminded me. So I have a shower where we have shower shelves at eye level, and my Cetaphil face wash is right at eye level,
Oh,
and
you're
it'll
toast.
it'll like
You are toast.
it'll like
I'm there with
dry.
a bag. I'm filling it up.
Yeah.
It'll like dry like the little things, so when you squirt it, it'll like come out wrong. But I was trying to squirt it into my hand, but because of the dried part,
Oh,
it
yeah.
squirted directly into my eye.
Yes.
And for 24 hours I could not see, and I was just tearing up.
Yeah.
And I was just like, why does this have to happen to me? Like, I'm a nice person.
Yeah.
I'm a good person.
You
That's
maced yourself. But your
And
eye was like super clean.
It felt fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That like it is a gentle soap. Cetaphil, right?
It's gentle. Like, it could have been a lot worse. Like,
Yeah.
I used to put $3 Walmart liquid eyeliner on my waterline every day of middle school.
Oh my God.
My God.
So my eyes have been through a lot. It's like this what was the least of their worries.
That
but
is
it's
insane.
You know what burns? The Neutrogena grapefruit cleanser with the bursting balls in it.
Yes.
the
That's-
microplastics.
The microplastic that burns your eyes
Wait,
like
so
no
do
other.
they burst the balls?
The balls are bursting.
The
Absolutely.
balls
What does
just
that do?
the balls just
They
remain
exfoliate.
plastic.
Yeah.
But it's like the way that commercial was so powerful in the early 2010s that we
Yes.
all washed our face with
it
that.
was like you see the pore, you see the ball going
Going
into
into
the
the
pore
pore.
and cleaning out the pore.
Yeah.
It's like I want balls in my pores. I need these balls in my pores.
Meanwhile, now our tap water is filled with them.
Yes,
And
right.
every day we have a
The
sip
balls
of
are like in my brain.
Literally.
They're like everywhere.
But actually they are.
I know. Yeah.
That's so funny.
God.
Anyways, it's time for our last segment.
Oh, I have one
Oh,
broad.
sorry,
I
Max.
can't know. I don't know if this is funny or not because I haven't said it out loud yet.
Say
But
it.
on Yom Kippur, I was so famished, and it was 6:20 p.m., so I only had 10 minutes before I could eat. And I'm just walking by, and I'm in a manic episode from being so hungry.
Mm.
And I thought these people had babka on their shirt, but it said baklava, which is not. That's kind of a different thing.
Close.
And I go, where can I break my fast? And they're like, actually, we run a small business. Here's, and I'm like, and so I buy a baklava from them, and they asked me to Venmo them, and it was $30 for 3 pieces.
No.
And they're like, this is awesome. It's never happened before. And it's like, I'm never talking to strangers on the street
It was
again.
an accident is why.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's like
Really
yesterday I went
awesome.
to the AMC Village 7 and this guy convinced me to like sign up for green energy, and now my Con Edison bill is going to be more expensive. But I just said yes because he worked for like the company my dad
Oh my
worked
God,
for when
did
I was
they
8
use to line
called
on
Green
you? They're
Mountain
like,
Energy.
you're my last person of the day. Those Green Energy Mountain Energy people, every single time I see them, it doesn't matter what time of the day, they're like, last sign up of the day, last sign up of the day. It's like at all times. They're
No.
really good at marketing.
just-
You have to really just be an asshole.
Yeah.
You have to.
I know. One time I gave $300 to a woman because I was afraid to be an asshole.
Yes,
and I had
that
just been
happens.
I'd just been to TJ Maxx, and I'm like, I'm gonna carry her on TJ Maxx bags and say I can't donate to like children in a hospital, even though it was just a woman on the street.
Yeah, I've done that before. Not quite 300, but you know,
Well,
definitely way more than I should
They
have.
trick you and they'd be like, so you can either donate $300, $600, or $1,100. And so normally if you're like,
So you're like,
I'll
my
do
God,
20.
I can't do 1,100. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
God.
If you ever do that though, if you ever do crowdfunding, do it at like 3 a.m. when people are going back from the bars. When they're at their
Yes.
weekend.
They've done that to us
That's when they
before.
do it. And
No.
I give everything away.
No, but you really do need to have the experience of like, even in that situation where you like feel like you're the instigator,
Uh-huh.
you need to follow through because you were the one that like approached them to be like, da, da, da. When that happens,
I
you do
know.
feel kind of like, I have to buy this thing now. You are allowed to stop and say, you know what? I made a mistake. I thought something else was going on, and I am so sorry, but you're not getting my money.
Oh,
And then go away.
that's so powerful.
That-
It's
really-
so powerful. It's like the same thing as saying no to the free thing. You are kind of, it's like
Whoa.
exercising the same muscle of like restraint.
To
Yeah.
do full circle.
Yeah.
Okay, well then that
The
brings
way
us to our
you
last
just did a
segment. Oh.
UCB third beat on the episode.
I'm looking right in camera.
Well, it's time for our last segment. Girl, get your Glock. It's rapid fire time. We're going to ask you a series of rapid fire
Okay,
questions,
perfect.
and
I
you cannot
love-
think twice. Answer the first thing you think of.
Are you
Perfect.
schoolgirl or are you gonna get schooled girl?
Schoolgirl.
How are you?
Good.
Reduce, reuse, recycle, or Rihanna?
Rihanna.
Who would you rather go down on, Michael Bublé or Janet Jackson?
Bublé.
What is a cutoff age for being considered a child bride?
210.
210.
Are you allowed to be upset even though you're white?
Yes.
How do we save slapstick comedy?
We can't.
Fuck Mary Fuck Mary Keels.
Yeah,
Fuck
fuck Mary
Mary
Keels.
Phone key wallet.
Fuck wallet, keels, keys, and then marry phone.
Ooh.
Sadly.
I'd marry my
No,
phone
we know,
too.
girl. How are you using the city as your gym?
Taking that 2007 Prius on the road. That's how I'm doing it.
Quiznos is Trey's guilty pleasure. What's yours?
Quiznos.
Have you been doing your brain kegels?
No.
Would you rather get 3 free vegan sandwiches or $17.50 for your art piece?
3 free vegan sandwiches.
Well, those are probably
Wow.
$17 each anyway.
I know.
At
It
this
is-
point, like, she's doing the math in her head, but now it's obvious that like one sandwich would be $17.50.
Also, I was like, when they said $17.50 on the show, I was like, wow, that's a really good price. I thought they were saying it's like $1,750. I thought it was like $1,700. I was like, wow, amazing.
For that hamburger arc go off, girl.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on the pod, girl.
Oh my God, I had so much fun.
We had the best time ever.
Yeah, this was
really
good.
a pleasure.
This was a pleasure. Where can people find you?
yeah.
You can find me at Joe Castle Baker on basically everywhere that matters.
What's your favorite one?
My favorite one, like on social media,
Yeah.
I think Instagram.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say you're an
it's
Instagram
so
girl
I'm an
through and
Instagram
through.
girl.
It's
You
fun.
really
And
are.
you should go there and follow me and like and subscribe and share.
If you can subscribe on Instagram, if you can find a way, do it.
Do it.
For dough, please.
Just like Venmo me every month $5 if you can. Perfect.
Right, yeah, that's. I love those girls that put their Venmo in their Instagram. They're like, "Oh, you like this? Venmo me."
Venmo me. I should say
Ooh.
that. I should do that.
If you like Joe, Venmo
Venmo
him.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you had fun. We'll see you
the
next
best
week.
time ever. See you next week, girls. And
Bye.
while
Oh.
you're here, go ahead and rate and review and add Broad City to your Apple Review podcast so people can find us through SEO and listen for our Patreon.
Oh yeah, guys, we have a Patreon and please subscribe.
Please,
We're
please,
begging
please,
you.
please.
Okay, bye.
Bye.